the Israeli Prime Minister has painted a bold and ambitious vision for the country's future, one that blends confidence in economic strength with determination in matters of national security. His remarks, delivered with a mix of reassurance and urgency, highlighted Israel's resilience in the face of crises, its drive to lead in technology, and its unyielding focus on self-reliance in defense. He began by reminding listeners of Israel's enduring stability. The Israeli economy is very strong. I have terrific confidence in it. It is strong. It is innovative. It weathered 2 economic crises. These words set the tone for what would become both an economic pitch and a strategic declaration. The Prime Minister reflected on how Israel had withstood 2 major disruptions in just a few years. The corona crisis came out first in the world, and the two-year war where we have an enormous amount of investments. People are coming, and they'll continue to come for everything that we're doing. Here, he was not just pointing to recovery, but to growth. For him, the message was clear. Investors had not been scared away by challenges. On the contrary, they continued to bet on Israel's future, drawn by its reputation as a hub of innovation. In his view, the resilience of the Israeli economy was not simply about weathering storms. It was about setting the pace for the future. He stressed that investment opportunities extended far beyond the present moment, not only the economy and the technology of today, but the technology of the future, cyber AI, and so many other things. And basically, my call to you, the investors of the world, get on board now because we're about to take off. That phrase, about to take off, captured the optimism he wanted to project. To his audience, the message was not just encouragement, but urgency. Invest now or risk being left behind. He emphasized that recent conflicts had already showcased Israel's capacity to innovate under pressure. We're about to take off with the technologies of the future. You've got a glimpse of it in the amazing possibilities and the amazing achievement of Israel in the 12-day war with Iran. You could see the things that Israel could do that amaze the world. By invoking that conflict, he pointed to concrete demonstrations of Israel's high-tech military and defense achievements, framing them as both proof of concept and a preview of what lies ahead. The Prime Minister then shifted focus from economics to security. His words underscored a world in which military innovation is no less critical than economic innovation. There's a race now for weapons in the world, but it is not a market race because unlike everything else that we could talk about, that's controlled by governments and their calculations can sometimes be political, not necessarily economic. This distinction was crucial. He argued that while most industries are driven by market competition, the arms industry is shaped by government policy and geopolitics. That means Israel must not depend on others. It must build its own capacity. And therefore, what we are going to do is to build an arms industry that will match the best arms industries in the world with one proviso. We want to produce first for ourselves on a much larger scale and with unimaginable innovation. His remarks revealed a national strategy, self-sufficiency in defense, powered by Israel's culture of technological ingenuity. He described conversations with innovators who, in his words, often surprise even him. I speak to the innovators. I find it hard to believe what they're telling me that they're going to produce. Then again, they said that to me a few years ago, and I found it hard to believe, but you saw some of it, not even all of it, in the 12-day war with Iran. That war, he reminded his audience, had provided a glimpse into capabilities that were once unimaginable, but are now becoming reality. It was both a warning to adversaries and a source of pride for Israelis. So we are going to produce an independent arms industry, very powerful, very strong, that can withstand any kind of international political constraints and will provide security for the state of Israel. Beyond defense, the Prime Minister tied this ambition to a broader vision of prosperity and peace. To him, economic growth, military strength, and diplomacy were interconnected. This is what I envision for the state. It's going to continue to grow, it's going to continue to innovate, and it's going to continue to provide for our security and our prosperity. And I think soon, with expanded peace treaties in the Middle East, the Prime Minister acknowledged that peace is not immediately visible, but expressed confidence that it is within reach. It'll take time. You don't see it right now, but it's coming. This blend of caution and optimism highlighted his attempt to balance realism with aspiration. The wars of the past had shown Israel's resilience. The promise of the future, he suggested, lies in extending that resilience into regional cooperation. The Prime Minister also addressed his relationship with Washington, specifically with former U.S. President Donald Trump. Asked about recent exchanges, he offered a candid response. But since you asked about President Trump, I had a few conversations with him after the attack on Qatar, and they were all very good, including our conversation yesterday. He underscored that these were not isolated contacts, but part of an ongoing dialogue. From those conversations, he said, two significant outcomes had emerged. Two things came out of that. First, he invited me to the White House. This will take place in 2 weeks on Monday after my speech at the UN. The announcement hinted at both diplomatic continuity and personal rapport between the two leaders. For Israel, the symbolism of a White House invitation carried weight, reinforcing the centrality of U.S. Israel ties at a time of shifting alliances in the Middle East. Taken together, the Prime Minister's remarks formed a narrative designed to resonate on multiple levels. For investors, it was a call to action. For citizens, it was reassurance of resilience. For allies, it was a signal of continuity. And for adversaries, it was a warning of independence and strength. He cast Israel as a country that not only survives, but leads. Its economy is described as strong and innovative. Its defense industry is portrayed as on the verge of transformation. And its diplomacy is positioned as cautiously hopeful, aimed at expanding peace, even amid ongoing conflicts. The Prime Minister's rhetorical style reinforced his message. He repeated words like strong, innovative, and take off, underlining confidence and urgency. By weaving personal anecdotes, such as his conversations with innovators or his disbelief at their claims, he added a human touch to the technical details. The Prime Minister's vision is one of continuity and transformation. Continuity in Israel's commitment to security and independence, transformation in its ambition to lead in technologies of the future, from artificial intelligence to cyber defense. He argued that the lessons of the past, from pandemics to wars, are not setbacks, but stepping stones. Each crisis has, in his framing, proven Israel's ability to emerge stronger. Each challenge has highlighted the need for innovation and self-reliance. His voice carried both urgency and calm. On the one hand, he urged investors to get on board now. On the other, he reassured citizens that growth, security, and peace are part of Israel's trajectory. In his own words, it's going to continue to grow, it's going to continue to innovate, and it's going to continue to provide for our security and our prosperity. This statement may well serve as the guiding theme of his vision. A nation that builds prosperity through innovation, ensures security through independence, and aspires to peace through resilience. As he concluded, the Prime Minister's message was unmistakable. Israel, he insisted, is not standing still. It is preparing to take off economically, technologically, and strategically. Investors are urged to join now. Allies are assured of continuity, and adversaries are reminded that Israel will defend itself with innovation, resilience, and strength. The story he told was not merely about economics or politics, but about the identity of a nation determined to shape its future rather than wait for it.